goody.
Alright, what's up everybody? It is Zombies here again, and today we have a new build. So this is the green machine build, because we have 4 fighters here, and I actually found this build on Twitter from Dallas777. I believe they have iterated on it since then, and actually ended up replacing Illidan here with a Blink Fox. However, I really like Illidan, and I wanted an excuse to use him, so I wanted to try the comp kind of as is, and see how it does. We've been seeing a fair amount of Eudora starting to pop up now in the kind of evolving meta with these buffs. I think she's definitely a little bit more viable, and you've seen a lot more people experimenting with her, and I think she has a lot of potential to be a great mercenary. So we're actually rocking her with her primed armaments here. So she summons a cannon when she comes into play. And we're going to try and leverage that cannon and any other cannons we summon to our advantage with her. Then we have Varden here, who's just kind of there to slow the opponents down so that we can actually get some more attacks off quickly on the turn 2. Or it just gives the opponent something to focus with their samuro, where even if they do kill our Varden quickly, we at least get that death rattle effect, which will shut down one of their units for the next turn. And this comp is obviously lighter on casters, so we definitely need at least one good caster to kind of round it out a little bit. And Varden's just a really solid lead overall. Then Tirion, this is one of the mercs that got buffs. Tirion, all he got was, I believe, just a little bump to his attack, but never a bad thing. How we're trying to use Tirion here is we're trying to leverage him to buff up our guys. Given he is in our starting lineup, he's usually one of the mercs that will end up dying before we get our whole back row out there. And our back row here really benefits from the bonus in attack and health. And he also has that +8 of Kings, giving +8/+8 in Divine Shield, which can be really, really clutch, especially on a unit like Diablo, Karen, Illidan. They all benefit from that a lot. And sometimes the extra health you save from that Divine Shield can be big. And then Judgment of Humility is just really good for dealing with scaling threats. I know we're seeing a whole lot of Shadow Samuro right now, and this is just a nice way to kind of shut Samuro down for a turn. So that way if he attacks you or if he summons a mirror image or something like that, he's really not getting off that much damage, maybe like, I don't know, 5 or 10 as opposed to like 20 to 40. So that's pretty big. Tyrion's normal attack is kind of slow, but the nice thing is if you can time a good death blow off with it, you do give your characters Divine Shield, and that can be pretty big as well. But we're mainly running him for the buffs and to kind of shut down big scaling threats. Then in our back row here, we have our standard little Karen Diablo combo. They just have felt really good with the team. We needed at least one good protector, and the kind of speed boosts and slowdowns Karen enables while also protecting your team. Having good survivability with reincarnation just makes him a really outstanding unit. He definitely did feel the impact of that fix that makes it so now when he dies, he does not get a ability off that turn if he didn't cast one yet. So he's a little bit weaker now, but still a very strong mercenary. Diablo, as long as Karen is strong, Diablo is most likely going to be strong. Diablo gets some additional benefits here because if you can get him in early, he can actually start scaling early with your cannons dying, because your opponent will have to clear those somehow or target them, because otherwise they're just going to be chipping away for a whole lot of damage if they just kind of leave them alone and don't have any good AoE abilities. And then last but not least, we have our other buffed mercenary of the bunch here with Illidan. I was really excited to try out Illidan. He definitely feels a lot better in terms of, I think the attack buff was really sorely needed on him. And I found with that additional attack buff from Tyrion's ability and Death Rattle, you can get Illidan in as like pretty often 21 attack unit, and so that's potentially 42 damage that you can get off right away. Even more if you are using Winged Assault, and it's one of the left or right units if it's super effective. So I really liked Illidan. He definitely feels like he can be good in a comp that tries to scale him higher, and then you can kind of deal massive damage with things like Blade Dance or gain some health back while getting double attacks with Outcast Attack. And for equipment, I've been rocking the Demon Shroud. I do think taking less damage while attacking is really good. I am going to want to experiment a little bit more with Razor Fist at some point in the future too, because I do think that additional attack for scaling could be good, but for the time being, I'm using Demon Shroud. So yeah, that is the overview of the comp here. Now let's see if we can try some games with it. Alright, we got another game. Alright, triple caster. That should theoretically be good for us. Go with our Varden, Tirion, Eudora lead. Alright, Shadow Samuro. So, slow. I think we have to kill the Vol'jin. Because Vol'jin is pretty scary against what we've got here. That constant speed just gets really annoying. Alright, what are they doing? 14. Okay. So it goes for the straight up kill on the Varden. Alright. Did Varden get his slow off? He got his freeze off. I wish it would let you scroll this. Alright, well we know Samuro's not doing anything next turn. So we could just go for the... I mean, I guess we can just get the kill with Tirion. Let's just get out Illidan. Alright, what are we doing here? So he's slow, which means we can kill with Tirion, I think. Then we want to bonk here, bonk there, move the cannon. I think that's a pretty good move. Oh, Varden must not have got his attack off, so he wasn't slower. So I didn't have to use that move on Tirion, but... Damn. That's a shame. They got rid of our cannon. Because it would have killed. Alright, Karen. This is not the greatest. Try and buff up Illidan. Restore 10 health, eh? Alright. I think that was good. We bring in our own Karen. It's going to depend if he sends out Cookie or Diablo. Cookie can get the snipe here, but I actually wouldn't mind that. The stat buffs could be really good for us. Alright, it's Diablo. So, I think we go for the speed tie here. Yeah, Shadow Samuro, definitely still a popular comp. Really, really solid to climb with. Alright, so he won that speed tie, which is not great for me. Probably should have just not gone for it. But nothing we can do about it now. Ooh, Diablo kill. That's pretty big. Pretty big. Here comes the cook man. We just go for the attack. And same there. Alright, what'd they do? Trying to kill the Karen? No, interesting. Well, we go for the Fire Stomp. Speed up. It's not going to matter because we're going to get sniped by the cookie, but we could still win from here, I think. Oh, the mirror image for Samuro. Okay. Earth Stomp into... What's the best way to do this? Karen has to go. Oh, the extra health. Just gonna screw me. Alright. Can I kill him from here? Oh. I guess I can't. Oh yeah, because I have 40. I keep getting my Diablo's buff. Let's go. Very nice. So I could kill him over 2 turns. And we've got a game. Alright, another 3 caster comp. That is what we like to see here. Throw down our Eudora, Bard, and Tirion. So that death rattle on Tirion can be really, really relevant in the late game. It's kind of why I've been liking him, because his other abilities are alright, but I think that death rattle is really where he shines, especially as a lead. Ooh, okay. So different kind of shadow lead here. We have Cornelius, one of the recent buffed mercs, in place of Samuro, usually starting off here. Very interesting. So I think the plan here is we are going to... Well, normally I'd focus Vol'jin. He's probably going to taunt, especially with Eudora here. And if he does that, he's going to do a quick AoE next turn, so it's kind of a waste to summon a cannon. Though I guess the cannon could get some damage off. But I think I just want to go for the attack. In the off chance he doesn't taunt, we'll focus Vol'jin. Focusing Eudora, eh? Interesting. Look at that, we got a kill on the Vol'jin. That's good. That's quite good. All because he didn't taunt. He went for the attack there. Which I guess is decent for damage on Eudora, but like, I don't really care if you kill Eudora. Whoa, Sylvanas. Okay. Spicy comp we've got here. No Death Rattle, Sylvanas? Passive +5 attack? Hello? What? That is, I think it's the first time I've seen that. Oh, and maybe the last time. GG. And we've got another game. Alright, another three caster here, which should be good for us, I think. I'm still not 100% positive on best starting position for Eudora. Her cannons definitely require a lot of thought and optimization, for sure. So there's going to be a lot of learning as we go with that. So it looks like another standard Shadow Samuro opener here. I think we're just going to want to do what we did last time and focus down the Vol'jin. Leave the cannon where it is. Alright, so it goes for the slow, goes for the damage. Xaxes kill on Varden. I guess, see, there's a perfect example of if we did the cannons a little bit differently, we would have gotten a kill there. So maybe, but it's so hard to predict what your opponent's going to go for in the same vein. Question is, what do we want to go for here? It could be nice getting out an early Diablo, having like triple green out here. Karen has the potential for speed up, but even if we do speed up, oh no, he should be slowed by, wait, did Varden get its attack off? It did, so he should be slowed, so we should be able to get the kill here then. Yeah, I'll throw down the Karen. Go for the speed up, I think. I mean, if he's slower, it shouldn't matter, right? Like, because all his abilities are... How much did Varden slow by? What's it? No, that was the Death Rattle. Oh, shit, that was the Death Rattle. Varden didn't get his slow off. He died before he could slow. Okay, so in that case, we have to win the speed tie here if he goes for the slow. Which in that case, if he's just going to go for the board wipe, I think Eudora lives. So let's save the Endurance Aura and go for the slow. Punch in here with the Tirion so we get the death blow. And maybe try and summon, or no, we're not going to summon another cannon. We're going to Covering Fire. And we're going to move this inward. Cannon probably dies either way. Yeah, it goes for the AoE. Sure. Alright, now you're slow. Now I have Divine Shield. Okay, so maybe it was a mistake to return with Divine Shield, but not that big of a deal, I don't think. Because now we could get some Karen Diablo shenanigans going. Um, Illidan's also an option. I'm expecting Karen, so who does best against Karen here? Probably Diablo. I think getting Diablo out is just good because we can start scaling our Diablo up. And he's slowed right now. His Karen isn't slowed. So I think he might go for the speed tie here. I think we just have to go for it. I'm trying to decide what's a bigger priority to take out, the Samuro or the Natalie. Natalie represents a lot of healing potential. And Samuro will just die if he goes for... Honestly, I'll let Samuro get cleaned up next turn and go for the kill on Natalie, I think. Job done. It might have been right to use the Judgment of Humility here, so I'm guaranteed to go off before his guy if I lose the speed tie, which I do, which is sad, but not the biggest deal in the world. They get some healing off, but I was kind of expecting that. We go for some damage. And I think shrink the Samuro. Yeah, it's good. We get the buff. Okay, so now I think we just try and start cleaning up with Illidan. Go for the damage. I think we go for outcast attack. I think we want to slow the Karen. Alright, goes for the attack. We get some health, which is very much needed. Slow is pretty big. The slow is pretty big. Because now he either has to summon in Cookie or Diablo. He can't get any snipes. Yeah, this should be great for us. Because now we totally clean up with our own Endurance Aura into Fire Stomp. And I think we go for the attack on the Cookie to get off a lot of damage. Very nice. Yeah. That should just be the game. Yep. Sweet. Alright, so to wrap things up here, I think there's a lot of potential for this comp. Eudora felt really good. I'm pretty close to maxing her. I just need one more ability here, so I'm probably going to do some farming to get her all maxed out so we can be trying her with that additional stat bonus. But she felt really good. I do think, and I said this before on the podcast, that Covering fire is a really, really unique ability, and there's a lot of precedence for stuff like this being very powerful and seeing play in different but similar games like competitive Pokemon. So I think there is a lot of potential here for that, and the only thing with Eudora is, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but her her positioning with the cannons, even when you're not using other pirates, it is an element of the game that requires a lot of thinking. Much more position thinking goes into this comp than like your average comp. So it's just something to be aware of, and it can make it a little more tricky to play 100% optimally. Like I definitely had a game or two where if I maneuver my cannons a little bit differently, it would have been the difference between a kill on an opposing mercenary on turn one versus not killing it. So that can be pretty big, but that's just going to be a learning experience and something that as the comp is played more by more people and with more playtime, we'll probably get a little bit of a better idea in terms of what proper cannoning position is. But yeah, Eudora did great, and she's a big reason why I wanted to run this comp in the first place. Then some of the other star players definitely want to mention here. Tirion. Tirion really, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Tirion. I think he's held back a little bit by his main attack not being the strongest thing in the world and being kind of tricky to get that death blow off. But the potential for buffs and neutering an enemy unit is really big here. And I think this comp is pretty good at leveraging that kind of ability to their advantage. The one thing I think you want to be mindful of with him is don't always feel like you have to go out of your way to protect your Tirion, because I don't think Tyrion's going to be the main focus of a lot of opposing opponents. So I think you do kind of want to play it out. So if you can like kill off your own Tirion at a good time to let you get like an additional switch in and buff your mercenaries at the same time, sometimes that can be really beneficial. So that's just something to think about in terms of him. You don't necessarily want to be like prioritizing saving him at all costs, because if you leave him to the end, you're not getting as much leverage out of that +8/+8. And we definitely won at least a game or two because of that buff. So that was pretty big. Then, yeah, Karen Diablo just kind of did their thing. And we did see Illidan do some work too, though. I do think if you want to be running Illidan and you want to be trying him out, I think this is a great comp to try him out in. Or if you're going to try him out in something else, I do think you want to kind of do what we're doing here and attempt to leverage his attacking abilities by buffing him up somehow. Whether that's with Tirion or another unit. Like I know Rorka is sometimes used to buff units up and stuff like that. So I think you definitely want something that makes him scale more into the late game when he can become a very big threat. But yeah, this comp was a lot of fun, and it seemed to do pretty well versus Shadow Samuro, which I've been seeing a lot of. I wouldn't say this was like a heavily favored matchup or anything, but you can definitely win games against it with this, at least in my experience. So if you're seeing a lot of that, maybe this is something you should try out to give it a little bit of a counter there. But that is going to do it for this video. If you've been enjoying them, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Really does a lot to help the channel grow, and I really appreciate it. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Peace.